All right, so we're on here live now as Ole Miss has it 3rd and 13, and that's gonna be intercepted. Jackson Dart only 5 picks on the season, just threw one to Ole Miss right there, as that's gonna be a huge game changer here early on in this one as Penn State's gonna take over at the 35-yard line of Ole Miss. As well, it looks like they're gonna review it, and I can't tell. That's pretty close whether or not that one was on the ground or not. Is um, It'll be a close call. See if that ball hit the ground. They're going to overturn it. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Be an incomplete pass. It did appear to hit the ground, but I mean, still going to be a 4th and 13 here, and Ole Miss is going to have to punt the ball away to Penn State. Well, you would assume so. And Kiffin, you never know if he's actually going to punt the ball or not. He he does like to go for it all the time. So, but we should have the football expert hopping in and joining us here in just a moment. It's a pretty solid punt here, as it's going to bounce out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So that is where Penn State will take over at. Is Jackson Dart on that 3rd down throw got hit pretty hard, had a little bit of a limp off the field, and he's in the injury tent now. And that's something huge to watch, because not only is he in the injury tent now, but the backup Spencer Sanders is academically ineligible for this game. As it They just showed Dart walking out. He seems to be okay, walking out of the tent. But yeah, Spencer Sanders, the backup, is ineligible for this game. So they definitely don't want to be without Jackson Dart, as Singleton on the first carry here for Penn State, and he's going to get about 12 yards and a first down. But hold on, there is a flag down in the backfield, probably going to be coming back for a hold. Yeah, they're going to get Penn State for holding number 71. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that guy's name. But that's gonna back them up here and start them with a 1st and 20 now from the 17-yard line. So 1st and 20 now. Aller in the shotgun with 2 running backs to his side. He's gonna drop the throw now. Had his man over the middle and just looked like he just threw it over his head. I don't know. That was kind of a weirder. It's kind of a weirder play. Just the way the ball went. Oh, it got tipped. Okay, it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. I was about to say, yeah, that just kind of looked like it just kind of floated over his head. But yeah, it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Make sure, if you're over on American Football Network, you go and vote in our poll for who wins today. Right now, we got 2 votes, both going towards Ole Miss. So let's get some votes in there. As Singleton on the 2nd down and 20, and he's going to get this about an 18-yard run, make this about a 3rd and 2 now. So a huge gain there. Yeah, 18-yard run up to the 35 now, bring up a 3rd and 2. Singleton gonna get the carry again, and he's gonna have a 1st down. And man, just barely tripped up by the shoestring. He's about to take off for even more. That gets up to the 45-yard line of Ole Miss. this is going to be a tough battle and something to watch all game long. Um, just how Penn State is able to play defensively, especially against this run game, because their defensive line definitely is not as physical as this Penn State offensive line. As there's a nice pass and catch there from Aller, and that's going to be another first down. But I mean, this Ole Miss defense has been a struggle all year long, and that's going to be something to watch for sure, and how they play, and just if they're able to really slow like you look right now, Singleton's got 2 carries for 27 yards, and they've given up some first downs, and Penn State's already in Ole Miss territory at the 44-yard line now. Gonna hand the ball off here. Get about 5 down to the 39 of Ole Miss. They'll get about 5 yards, bring up about a 2nd and 5. Katron Allen with the carry on that one. Penn State already got 32 rush yards in the game on this one. Is Aller gonna check with his offensive lineman, now take the snap in the shotgun, and again he's gonna hand to Allen, and Allen's got room, makes a man miss, and he's gonna be all the way down to the 15-yard line. Big run there. He just broke the defender down and got around him for a big run there for the Nittany Lions, and have them set up now in the red zone at the 15. Big run there, just a great play call. Um, Great play call there, getting kind of getting the defensive eyes, because for a second there at the beginning I thought Aller had the ball, but Aller gonna drop the throw now, hit as he throws, and that one's gonna fall incomplete. He got hit from behind as he went to throw on that one. Probably lucky that nobody was over there. Could have been an interception for sure. So 2nd and 10 now from the 15. Pretty evenly split drive so far for Penn State. 4 runs, 3 passes. Pretty split play call here, as they're going to hand the ball off again. This is Singleton, and he's going to get about 6 down to the 9-yard line of Ole Miss. Bring up about a 3rd and 4 here. If you're Penn State, you really don't want to settle for a field goal after this nice drive that you've been on. So big 3rd down here for Penn State. Want to punch it in here, and again, you can get a first down at the 5-yard line, so you don't have to score here. But they're going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to hit his man on the slant. That one's going to fall incomplete. Looked like they had 2 guys in the same spot. And James Franklin, Matt, he wanted pass interference. Yeah, I think he wanted a pass interference call now, and I look like the cornerback did get there just a little bit early for sure. Probably could have been called, but it wasn't. So Penn State will have to settle for the 26-yard field goal, and they connect right down the middle on that one. So they take an early 3-0 lead here in this game, but they went on a very nice drive down the field to start. on their first drive. Drew Aller 1 for 4 for 12 yards on the drive. Singleton really carried the load for him, 3 carries for 33 yards. Um, and Ole Miss will get another crack at it. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to see if we can get in touch with the football expert, and we'll be right back with you guys when that action's back.
And we are back now with our coverage of the Peach Bowl. The Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl. I about said the Goodyear Peach Bowl. As we were doing our coverage of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl last night, I am American Football Network or Reichley. Now joining you after having to run some errands before this game started. You got Nick Singleton running up there, getting about 5-6 yards on the play. As we got a little bit of a delay here. Olu Fushanu is not playing today. Obviously, a big loss for the Nittany Lions. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below if you guys have not already. Also, make sure you like and like the video down below as well. Let's see how many likes I got on this video. One moment. Times it's going to be brought down the backfield for a loss. 4 here on the 13 lines. Lincoln will be back with us in a moment, but he just had something quick.
Yeah, I'm back now.
The red been pretty solid on third downs this season, but not excellent by any means.
I don't know if you've caught the entire game, but so far early on, these refs been pretty bad.
I have not caught any of it.
Yeah, there was one towards the goal line on third down. It was an obvious pass interference on Ole Miss that made Penn State have to settle for a field goal. And then there was another one for Ole Miss. Penn State jumped off sides and they blew the play dead after Ole Miss scored a touchdown. Yeah, so the referees, I mean, they've just been kind of bad early on. As 3rd and 9, pass is going to be incomplete, bring up a 4th down. Penn State going to punt the ball to Ole Miss. And a good punt there from Penn State, going to have Ole Miss pinned back deep now. Looks like inside their own 20. Good kick there.
Got a Penn State fan here in the house. Got Paul Bateman cheering for the Nittany Lions. You know, I got to get up a poll for this game on my channel. I'm sure Lincoln has one on his, but see here. Going to be 1st and 10 here for the Rebels. But thank you everyone for joining us so far. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Help Roundup reach its 40 subscriber goal, along with my goal of 1450 and Lincoln's goal of 1200. Be here all day for all the different games, so make sure that you are around as we'll broadcast games Florida State and Georgia, along with the playoff games and Liberty and Oregon on Monday. Well, we'll be right back as we are on commercial break at the moment. And we are back here with our coverage of the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl as Jackson Dart drops back to pass, and it is going to be a fumble there on Jackson Dart as he tried to get the ball away but just wasn't able to. It's going to be Penn State's ball. A massive play for Penn State as Jackson Dart hung on to that ball for just a little bit too long. Really should have known better. As experienced as a quarterback as he is, he really has to know that he's got to get rid of that ball. Let's look at the replay, see if it actually is a fumble. Yep, it looks like a fumble to me. That's going to be Penn State ball. Wow, Penn State has had 49 sacks this season, have really just been a sack machine, as they have played very well against the competition. Like Rutgers and Maryland and so on and so forth, Michigan State. But when it comes to the competition, like the competition when it comes to like a team like Ohio State or Michigan, they really have struggled. Or wait a second. Wait, are you going to give one moment here? Okay, so they did call it an incomplete pass. I don't know if that was incomplete. Jackson Dart does get this pass off plenty of time, and it's going to be a big gain all the way to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rebs. How are you streaming? I have to have 50 subscribers to stream. It's called Ohio State Hypes. I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't know that was a rule. I don't know. Let's see. How close are you? If we can help you get there, we're happy to. Ohio State Hypes. One second, let me look this up. Um, I have no idea. I've never heard that rule before because I streamed even on this channel. Um, even on this channel before I had 50 subscribers. One moment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That I've never seen that rule come into play. So I'm not really sure. Um, definitely. Well, your son can get 2 more subscribers. Me and Lincoln will definitely give a shout out. You're definitely more than welcome to put the link in the description for the game or for your son's channel. You're more than welcome to put it in there. Yeah, you can put the link in the description for the channel. We can approve that. As you're going to get a little trickery here. Jackson Dart gets away, and it's going to be a big first down here for the Rebels, all the way down to the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Rebs. So definitely make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video down below. Help it reach more people. But let's see here. Okay. Jackson Dart, 2nd and 9 here. So it's going to be caught inside the 10-yard line. Going to be 1st and goal here for the Rebels. And after a quick hurry up, you're going to get a touchdown here from the Rebels. It's going to make it 9-3 Rebs. Yep. It won't let me put the link in. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Is he at 12 subscribers? Let's see here. I think I found it. Let me know. I'm going to put this in our chat. Lincoln will have to approve it on his end. But I believe if that... So, yeah. But, yeah, definitely make sure you go ahead and subscribe over there as well. Yeah, definitely. I see the hype video. It looks really good. I know my brother is the one that does the hype videos for me and Lincoln here. Let's see here. Well, definitely. If your son is interested, if your son is interested in coming on, he definitely is more than welcome to. He can. There is a link in American Football Network's description with his email. If you want, if he did want to join, he's more than welcome to. I've had different people join. Okay, one moment as we go on commercial break. Jackson Dart getting taped up there on the sideline. What a play there from Penn State as Drew Allard just that was an incredible play as he was on his back foot, sidearmed that kind of, and got it to his what looks like his fullback. I've never seen him before. I'll have to look up the roster here for Penn State. Penn State football roster. Um, and he grabbed it and there was nobody behind him. And he ran it all the way down inside the 10-yard line. We're going to take a quick break here. So yeah. Yes, definitely. If you want to, if your son wants to join, you're more than welcome to email Lincoln. His link is in the description for American Football Network, or you can go to my channel and find it in the channel information. So yeah, and email it, and we can get that link out to you. What's up, Anthony? How we doing at Sorgy Stories? Good to see you. Hopefully, West Virginia is going well and enjoying the vacation. Um, yeah, I can. To your question, I would say that a phone is probably not best to use for a live stream. Definitely, if an iPad or a computer is available, I think that that is definitely better for a live stream. I think that you can use a phone, but I'm not 100% what ESPN's are not ESPN's YouTube stipulations are when it comes to that. Doing well. We're doing well. Lincoln, unfortunately, has had microphone issues. So he's hopefully going to be back soon, but has had some issues with his microphone. Um, as Allard almost gets sacked there, but barely gets the ball away in time. But yeah, definitely. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you on the live streams for New Year's Day. Be able to get some coverage for you. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to Sorgy Stories if you have not already. Another one of our friends here over at the channel, him, Scotty B, the Baylor King, and then my brother's YouTube channel, which is SR Studio, and he is the one that does all of the edits over here for. American Football Network and the Football Expert. Risky play there from Penn State going for it on 4th and goal, but a big dividend there as they get the touchdown pass to the tight end. Going to be a big play there as Penn State ties it up. Going to be 10 all here going into midway through the second. Well, more early on in the second quarter, but still good pass to Theo Johnson from Drew Allard. Um, to answer your question, it is Lincoln's football channel. I don't know like how to best describe it. It is the channel that he does videos on. So it's more just kind of the YouTube channel name that he has for it than anything else. It's not really anything too official. Same goes for me. It's not really super official. It's just kind of what I call my YouTube channel. And same goes for him. So he calls himself the American Football Network. But Lincoln is more than welcome to put something in the comment section if he has a better description for it than that. Anthony, excited about this game. I don't have a dog in the fight because I have friends from school on both sides. Yeah, it really is going to be an interesting matchup. Definitely already more points than last night's game that only finished with a combined 17 points and was quite the snooze fest as there was just not much going on either side with that. So make sure you like and subscribe down below. Good to see all of these new people here. Especially make sure that you subscribe over there on Roundup. That is our channel that we do all sorts of long form videos and stuff like that on. So make sure you subscribe over there as well as over here. Yeah. Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was quite it was definitely quite the interesting slugfest there. Let's see here. At 150 views, make sure you like down below. It helps the channel out. Uh, well, thank you, Anthony. That's much appreciated. Definitely appreciate um, your kindness. Let's see here. Going to take a quick break here as we are coming back for a partial break. So, going to take a quick break here. Yeah, we will be doing a stream for the Georgia game. We will have that on later. I don't know how much commentary we'll be doing for the game, especially if Lincoln's microphone is not working. It's a little bit harder to do commentary. But yeah, we will definitely have a stream and definitely have some commentary at the very least. Hopefully, we can have maybe either Anthony or Lincoln join us and see if we can get some commentary going or join me. But yeah, we will definitely have a stream for that game. And if your son wants to join, like I said, either email me or email Lincoln and we can get him the link. Um, yeah, yeah, you can definitely join. Let me know if you're able to find Football Network's email or my email. I'll put my email. I found Football Network's chat room. So make sure that you just send an email there with your email, and then we can send the link through there. And yeah, you can definitely join us. The game time for America, for Georgia and Florida State is 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock kickoff.
All right, it should
Looks
be
like
good
we,
now. You got me?
yeah, we got you.
Okay, good.
But yeah, good to have you back.
Yeah,
Been a little
'cause you had to
boring
do
without.
a whole like reset on it
Yeah, yeah. It's my
after
like my
after
computer. Go ahead.
after I went to Google and through all that
Yeah,
to figure it out.
my computer, the it hasn't been the microphone, it's been the camera.
Oh yeah.
So that I don't know why. Like I've had this computer for like 2 years now. Computer camera's been fine, but all of a sudden, um, like just doesn't want to do anything. But let us know when you send that email. Um, Let us know when you send that email, and then we'll get you the link for the Georgia Florida State game. And he's more than welcome to join. Generally, we enjoy having some new people join the chat. We've had some crazy people in the past and some good people in the past join our live stream. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag when it comes to letting people join.
Little bit of always a little bit of everything.
Yeah, last night it was really good to meet Ryan, another fellow Notre Dame fan. So that was good to see. As Old Miss is marching down the field here, they're playing well. As both teams definitely at least have an offensive pulse, unlike last night. So definitely, as Old Miss, what do you think about these two offenses? Especially Old Miss, their offense has definitely had a lot of success during this game by really getting it through the air, but the rushing attack has also been pretty good from uh, Jenkins.
Oh yeah, it has. Real quick, how's it going, Sorgi? Hope you had a good Christmas and looking forward to a good New Year. And yeah, we've we've definitely had our share of crazy people over our time doing doing these full streams. You've been around since the beginning of them. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think this Ole Miss offense they started out a little rocky. Didn't look too good to start, but they've really started to get things going. And Judkins only 7 carries for 18 yards, but he's he's really finally starting to get a little bit of a run game going. But it's been through the air that's really been keeping them going, and I expect them to keep the passing game flying around and keep moving the ball through the air.
Hmm. Yeah. As it looks like it's going to be a field goal attempt here from the Rebs.
And be what, a 45 yarder?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, 45.
If I'm doing my math right, from the
Yep.
28.
Field goal's good
Right.
45-yard field
So
goal, gonna give the Rebs the, lead 13-10 again. We'll see.
and
What
it
did you
it
think?
really should be giving them the lead 17-14 because both of these teams had to settle for field goals. Um, Both of them had to settle for field goals after the refs missed some terrible penalties, that were pretty I mean, the the rule with the offsides is the whistle is blown dead if the guy who jumped has a clear path to the quarterback. Well, the guy who jumped straight back. He did not have a clear path to the quarterback at all, and they hit they hit the tight the play plays out, they throw it to the end zone, their tight end catches it for a touchdown. Then here come the refs running in and they wave it off and say offsides. Well, Ole Miss has to settle for 3. Um, and then the same thing for Penn State. They were down there on their 3rd and goal play, or I believe it was 3rd and 4. They just had to get to the 5. They throw it on a slant route. It's a pass interference, clear as day, about the 1 yard line, and they don't call it. So
Yeah,
both of these
yeah.
coaches have their share of heated moments with the refs for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and Kiffin always gets heated one way or another, so
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Um,
where
did you hear his comments to Herb Street before the game?
no, not before the game, no.
They were interviewing him on like the little game day or whatever that they were having today, and Herb Street asks him about Michigan, Alabama, and what his thoughts were, and Lane Kiffin was like, "You know what you were doing there, Herb Street? That was a setup." And he just kind of laughs for a second, then he goes, "Roll Tide."
That's funny.
they
That's
they
funny.
all love that. Yeah, that's right, Sorgi. Um,
Is your email in the in the description down below, Lincoln?
yeah, mine's in the description of my video.
Okay. If you're on American Football Network, you should be able to find his email. I don't have mine. I probably should add mine to the description, but I haven't really
Probably so. We
haven't had a
we went through
chance.
it last night too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, he was on your stream, I think, anyway. So,
No, he came from yours to mine for the email.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because I keep my like live control room pulled up on YouTube too. That way I can see who's commenting on mine and who isn't. Um,
No, no, we don't. No, we don't really have an age limit, particularly. We started this back I started my YouTube channel back when I was 14. Lincoln started his when you were 14, right? Or were you how old were you?
14 or 15. I'm pretty sure 14. Yeah,
Because you started in 2020, right? Or was it 2019?
2020. So yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, so we've been doing this.
Around then.
Yeah. So, and
I mean, as long as
now
he's not like 8, it'd be good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we don't want any we enjoy being able to do commentary and stuff like that. So, we to be fair, we haven't had anybody that's that young
long,
try to join.
long as he can spell football, he'll be all right.
To be fair, I think that there's quite a lot of football fans that would have a hard time struggling spelling football, especially those people, um, especially those people when in that Baylor Old Miss stream.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony will remember that one for sure.
That was a crazy night.
Oh yeah, that was by far one of the craziest. That's probably still the craziest stream that we've had.
Oh, by far and away, I think it's got to be the craziest. Plus, a lot of these streams, I get that it was like COVID, so like a lot of pretty much everybody's videos did a little bit worse now um, than we did during COVID. Um, but I don't think any of these videos have done as well as they did during COVID, even close. So yeah.
No, I mean, cause like we're talking about, at least for me, the Alabama Cincinnati had like 68,000 views. Um, the Georgia Michigan had like 47,000, and then even just like the New Year's Six bowls were all getting 15 plus thousand views on them.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like last night,
These
and I know last
videos
night's
we
game was a
haven't.
little bit of a snooze fest, but it only got me about 1.4 thousand.
Yeah, mine got 1.5, and this one's only at about 200.
Yeah, mine's at about 250 right now for it.
So definitely a little bit slower, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Um,
No, yeah, and
it's just
I expect the actual playoff games to be up a lot,
yeah, I think that those will do really
especially from
well.
last year.
Plus, those are always fun. Yeah, because I think that like, and the reason why we do this is because I think it's a lot of fun to have so many football fans in one place. I think that's like been the one of the best parts about it is you just have so many people in the comment sections and stuff like that, being able to pick who they think is going to win and stuff like that. So it's always fun to go through that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's like you usually don't just get fans of the teams playing. You like last night in a Missouri, um, Ohio State stream, we had an Arkansas fan, we had a Notre Dame fan hop in. I think there was one more team,
An
was there not?
Auburn fan,
Auburn. Yeah, that's
Auburn.
right. Auburn fan join in. So, it's not always just the teams playing that you get fans in in either. It's usually, a good variety, a mix of fan bases that join in with us.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's what makes it fun.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
let's see. Yeah, but let's go to a quick commercial break as the team goes to a quick commercial break. So we'll be right back.
All right, as we are back, as Ole Miss is now has the football 1st and 10 at their 37-yard line. First play of the drive, he goes for 20 yards as Jackson Dart completes his pass to Caden Preekscorn, and that'll be a 20-yard gain. And now on 1st and 10 from the 38, Bentley is going to get a nice run here for 9 yards up to the 46-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 1 now for the Rebels, as offensively they're looking pretty solid so far.
Definitely, definitely. What's your hot take question for us? I'm interested to see what that question is. Anthony, next year I want to. Nice, nice. Yeah, you'll definitely have to send us that and see what. Yeah, I'm excited to see what those graphics look like. Lincoln, should Ohio State fire Day?
No, I think it's the same thing as Kirby Smart. You know,
I
the Georgia fans were acting the same way that Ohio State fans are acting towards Kirby Smart, and they the the people in charge of him, not obviously the fans didn't, but the people in charge of him just left him alone, let him do his job, and look at where he got him. I mean, the dude will win 4 or 5 more national championships at Georgia. He's 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 going to go down as one of the best head coaches of all time. And he's a guy that could have been. I mean, early on, Georgia fans were saying that he's the next Mark Richt, all this other stuff. But I think it's kind of the same thing with Ryan Day. Just leave him alone. Just let him keep doing what he's doing. He'll win a national championship at Ohio State soon enough.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I think Ryan Day. I don't think you fire him after this year, but if he doesn't do anything next year, yeah, I do think you fire him. I think if you lose to Michigan next year, well, let's say this: if you don't make the Big Ten championship game, I think you should get fired next year.
I don't know. I mean, look at it too. You got a 12-team playoff. You can lose to Michigan and not make your the Big Ten title game and still get in the playoff. And who knows what can happen when they get in the playoff. This with this 12-team playoff, I think that he could definitely still make a run. And exactly, that's another thing that to think about too. Glad you pointed that out, Anthony. So who's going to replace him? And I mean that job's not going to be very appealing. Look at what Ryan Day's done, and for him to get fired because of it, that's not going to be a very appealing job um, at all. If that's kind of what they're looking at, and I really don't know who would even come in to replace him that's going to be better than him. So I mean, I think you stay with him.
Well, I would say this. I would completely disagree that it's not an appealing job. I don't care if you fire Ryan Day or whatever. It is a top 5 most appealing job in all of college football, just plain and simple. I don't think that I think that it's I don't know who you would replace him with, but to be honest, if Freeman has a good season next year and makes the playoffs, or let's say this, let's say this, Lincoln. Notre Dame goes 11-1, is the 6th seed in the playoff next year because you can't be top 4, 5th or 6th seed. Is he the next head coach? Let's say he wins a playoff game or two.
I mean, I don't think he's got to win. I think if he just gets them to the playoff, he's probably would be the top candidate for him for Ohio State.
Does
But I
he
still
leave
just don't.
Ohio State?
He's still
Does he leave?
obviously he's still not better than Ryan Day, and nobody that's going to go to Ohio State is better than Ryan Day is. So I don't. I mean, I don't know why you would fire the guy.
Well, what I would say is this. I think Ryan Day has been handed a lot of things, and I'm not here's the thing. I'm not a big Ryan Day fan. I never really liked him to begin with. I think that he is good off I think not a good. He's a great offensive line. There's no doubt about that. Oh, what about this one, Lincoln? This is an interesting one. Vrabel.
Potentially, but I still don't think that that's going to be a better hire than Brian Day.
But here's the problem is this is what has Ryan Day done as a head coach that deserves to be the head coach at Ohio State? I like I can't help and I know that you probably will
It's
disagree with
it's
me on
the
this.
it's the same thing with Kirby Smart though. All the after he
Well,
just
I
kept
don't
losing and kept losing and kept losing to Bama in the SEC championship.
but here's the difference is this, Lincoln. Georgia wasn't beating Alabama before Kirby was there. They were at Ohio State. They were beating Michigan before Ryan Day was there. I
But
think the
Michigan
better
also was
compare
never at the
the
level that they are right now before
but
Ryan
they're at the
Day.
but what changed? Michigan was at the same in my opinion, Michigan was at the same level before this 2020 season, obviously, where they fell apart. But like it before that, I think they were at the same level pretty much. I think that they're better now a little bit, but not that much better.
Michigan was not a top 4 team during those Urban Meyer years for the majority of them.
Well, I don't
They
know if
weren't.
Michigan has been a top 4 team the past couple of seasons in the sense of this. There has been a massive difference between here's the thing that I'm going to say is
Yeah,
this.
the last couple of seasons that they've beaten Ohio State.
They okay, so let me say this. It's
The 3
this.
years they've beaten Ohio State, they've been a better football team than they have been any other time. Um,
Here's my point is this. Ryan Day is just Brian Kelly.
no.
Yeah.
Ryan
Yes.
Day is completely different than Brian Kelly.
No, give me a reason why he's different than Brian Kelly.
Because
Give me a
Ryan
reason.
Day will win a national championship at
No,
Ohio
he
State. Brian
won't.
Kelly will not.
No, he won't. No, he won't. And Brian Kelly would win a national championship at LSU before Ryan Day wins one Ohio State. Mark my words.
No,
And I don't think
that will
either
not
of them
happen.
wins a national championship, to be completely honest with you.
Both
I
of
just
them will win. Both of them will win one, but Ryan Day will win one before Brian Kelly does.
I disagree. I honestly don't think either of them do because I don't think Kelly is at LSU for more than 2 or 3 more years, honestly.
Yeah,
Because the
he
dude
may
is
not.
almost
He
70
may.
years old.
Yeah, he may not be coaching very much longer.
So the question is does Brian Kelly win a national championship the next 2, 3, 4 years? Probably not. And if he doesn't, then he's definitely out of LSU. And Ryan Day, y- you were handed everything. Literally everything was handed to you. And you were told you were given one job, win a or you were given two jobs, win a national championship and beat Michigan. He has failed to do both. You dominated that rivalry for 2 decades, and now you've given it
That's
back to
great, but you
Michigan.
talk about dominating the rivalry, you completely screwed your entire point whenever you talked about Michigan. Michigan was never what they are now under when Urban Meyer was the head coach. And that's
By the
great. That's great. You talk about well the last few years, Michigan exactly. The last few years is the only time that Ohio State's lost to them. The last 3 years, Michigan's been a top 14 the last 4 years,
No,
the
no, no, no,
last
no.
3 years.
I don't. I'm not saying I don't think Michigan has truly been an elite level. I don't know if I would say. I would say Michigan's teams in 2018 and 2019 when they went to the Orange Bowl were just as good as their teams that are now. I think that they're the same level.
I just don't even see how you make that argument.
Well, I don't get like I think the only difference is that Ohio State is worse coached. Just plain and simple. They're just not as good as at the head coaching position. That's the difference. Because
You think
on the
Harbaugh is a
talent,
better coach than Day?
huh?
So you think Harbaugh is a better coach than Day?
Yes. Yeah.
You're starting to lose your credibility now.
losing my credibility. He's beaten him the last 3 years. I'm not losing any credibility. He is just simply better than him.
He's not at all. But look
Yes,
at
he
all the stuff Ryan Day
dude, you
does.
are okay, timeout. If you're still in here, Amy's son, um, do you think, and I get that you're an Ohio State fan, but on your on an or Anthony, better yet, Anthony, do you think Harbaugh or Day is a better coach? I don't know if you're still in here, Anthony, but let us know if you are still in here, who you think is a better head coach. But no, I think Harbaugh's a better head coach, plain and simple. I just do. I don't see if I'm making my rankings, like, okay, so let's do this. What's your top 5 head coaches in college football? And I'll give mine.
Well, obviously Saban's one.
Yes. Mhm.
Um, Saban's one, and just college football, Anthony, because I mean, it that's what it's based on is college football, not
Yeah.
NFL. But
Yeah.
Saban's one. I think you put Kirby Smart at 2. I think you still got to have Dabo at 3 because I mean, he's one of, I believe the 2 people in front of him are like the only coaches active with multiple national championship wins other than,
Well, who
um,
else has a national championship, period?
I know Mac Brown does, but obviously he's
Well, yeah, but that
irrelevant
doesn't count.
at this
Yeah.
point. So I think you still got to have Dabo at 3 just because of what he's done. Um, and like that, I mean, he's won 9 plus games for 13 straight years. That's the 4th longest streak in FBS history. Um, and then I think after him, I would probably put Ryan Day at 4. And
I just
then
where are you putting Harbaugh then?
I think Harbaugh's right behind Day at 5.
Okay, I would put Harbaugh at 4. I agree with your top 3. Harbaugh at 4. At 5, I would put let's see here. I gotta think.
I don't know, and
Um,
honestly, I might put Kalen DeBoer at 5 and Harbaugh at 6.
I don't know. I don't think okay,
I just
this may
think
be really done, but who's
I
Steve?
just think with DeBoer, he's only been a head coach for 2. Now, obviously, he's had great success, but he's still only been a head coach for 2 years.
Yeah. Anthony, who is your top 5? Who is Steve at 4? I know that's a stupid question. I'm gonna realize, but who's Steve? Are you saying Sarkeesian?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Sark's not. Is he 4? I feel like being successful
You
at
can't
Texas
you
and
can't you can't base his whole, maybe this year you could put him at 4, but you can't say he's the 4th
yeah.
best coach in all of college football just looking at, just overall. You can't put him there. I mean, he's done absolutely nothing.
Well, here's my thing is this. It is the one thing that I would say is this. I wouldn't put Steve Sarkeesian at I wouldn't put Sark ahead of Day, but who I would put ahead of Day is honestly after this season and all that he's done, I would put Norvell ahead of Day. I think Norvell is a better coach, honestly.
I could see that.
Nor because
I
Norvell
just
has
don't
not
know.
only been successful at Florida State, he was also successful at Memphis beforehand.
Yeah, but I just don't know how Norvell's going to be able to keep it up, keep his success up because I mean, he's just building this team out of the transfer portal. He's not really building it through recruiting. Um and that's another thing you got to look at. That's part of being a football head coach. Ryan Day is um Ryan Day is a much better recruiter as well than Harbaugh is. Um,
I I think that's more his assistants, to be honest. I think that,
it
and I
doesn't
get
matter.
that,
That's his staff. Those are the guys he hires. That
but
has
yeah,
nothing to do with it. Right? That's
but
Ryan.
Lincoln,
Ryan Day
remember
gets the
this.
credit for it.
Yeah, but Lincoln, here's the problem with that
Nope,
though.
there's
Most
nothing
no,
you
no,
can
no, no,
say
no,
to
no.
argue that
Listen,
when
listen to
when
me.
they miss on a recruit or something bad happens, it's Ryan Day's fault. He's the one to blame. So when something good happens, he's also going to be the one to blame.
No, 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 no. Let me finish. Let me finish. Also, your son will need like a mic to either whatever device he's on. So most devices have like some sort of internal mic, like a phone has an internal mic, a computer sometimes has an internal mic, depending on the computer. iPads have internal mics. So you don't need like a external one or an individual one. But here's what I'll say is this: half of the guys that are on Day staff, if not more, are Urban Meyer guys. I'm not going to give him credit for the fact that he inherited Urban Meyer's staff. His offensive coordinator is an Urban Meyer guy. His defensive coordinator, that is about the only thing that I will give him. Knowles, that was a good hire. But outside of that, most of his guys are
It
Urban
doesn't
Meyer
matter. Ryan
guys.
Days went and kept those
No,
guys. He's went
but
and
that's
kept
the
them.
problem is you can't just give him the benefit of the doubt for the sake of, oh, he hired Urban Meyer's guys.
He's kept those guys.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, headphones would also, most of them have a built-in mic. That would work. But go ahead.
He's
So what?
kept those guys from leaving.
So what? It's Ohio State. Who they're not gonna go anywhere. There are only like three other programs in the country that are better coaching jobs. Like, I'm sorry, but no, you're not gonna get credit for the sake of just keeping Urban's guys. No. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna disagree heavily on you with this. I just think no. Um, But we should probably comment about the game. Mississippi got a touchdown to make it 20-10. Penn State got a touchdown back to make it 20-17. So right now, it is 20-17. Ole Miss has the ball, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, this is definitely being a more entertaining game than what we had last night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
Penn State is losing, and they have just as many points as last night's game combined for. So, um,
Yeah.
so I'll take it.
Yeah. Um, but plus here's the other thing. Okay, I'll ask you this question. Is Lance Leipold a top 10 head coach?
I would say probably top 10, but I would have him probably in the 8 to 10 range.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's probably number 10. Like,
That's what I was
okay,
about
if
to
I
say. Yeah, he's probably more like 9 or 10.
like he don't get me wrong, like to bring Kansas to a how many wins did they finish with this season? 9?
Let's just see. So I already told you my top five. I got Saban, Smart, Dabo, Day, Harbaugh.
Okay.
Then, in no particular order, I mean, you got to put Sarkeesian in there somewhere.
Mhm.
Um, I would say you definitely put Kalen DeBoer in there. You'd put Dan Lanning in there. Trying to think who else you would.
Sark's got to be in there
Um,
somewhere.
what's that?
I said Sark's got to be in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I got him. I mean, then you would have Leopold. I mean, maybe a James Franklin in there. Although
I just yeah.
I'm not as big on him. I mean, maybe even a maybe even a
Did you see what he said, Dabo over
Dabo
Day?
over Day. Yeah.
Yeah, I sorry, but I gotta agree with that one. Like
I
Dabo's
mean,
won.
Dabo's won.
Yeah, he's won 2 national championships. Like plain and simple, if you win a national championship, you automatically get vaulted into the top four. Um,
And not just
like,
one, but two.
yeah, yeah.
He's made
I will say that,
six straight college football playoffs, and
like, don't
he's
get me.
1-1. He's 1-1 against Day.
Yeah. Well, here's the one thing that I would say is this. Like, don't get me wrong. There is a massive, massive gap between 2 and 3. Um, and there is and the gap between 3 and 4 is closing fast. And if Day or Harbaugh won a national championship, they would go ahead of Dabo, in my opinion. Um, I think
I
that
still
both
don't
of,
know if they do though, because I mean they haven't.
but you
They're at
got to
better
have
school.
some but you got to have
They're at
some like recency biased a little bit in the fact that like you got to take into the fact that Dabo has struggled more or less in a weaker conference the past few years. Like you do have to take that into effect.
But you also have to look at the fact too that um you also got to look at the fact too that those guys, like you said, Ryan Day's at a top 5 coaching job. Michigan is probably top 7, top 10 somewhere in there coaching job. You could argue even top 5.
Oh, don't
Clemson's
get me.
definitely not a Clemson's definitely not a top 5, top 10
Yeah,
coaching job. Not to
it's
mention,
maybe top 20.
like you said, I mean Ryan Day, he was they were what number 5 or 6 in the country when Ryan Day took over for him for Meyer.
Oh, they were. Yeah, they were around there,
I think
but
they ended that year like ranked in the top 7.
yeah, but like here's the thing: is that um like don't get me wrong, Dabo has done a great job, and I like 5 years ago when you won the national championship and stuff like that. Um, and like I'm saying this, like like I think Dabo has done a great job as the head coach. But I think of recently, there have definitely been some struggles, whether it's the hiring process has been a little bit lackluster on some things. I like the hirings now more than I have in the past, but even still, the teams have definitely gotten worse. Pretty much year over year. I think this year was better than last year, but then the 3 years prior to that, I thought it got consistently worse.
Oh yeah, they have, but I mean think about how bad the team was last year, right? You're you're one
Mhm.
fumble away on a punt return from making the college football playoff still. With a team as bad as they were last year.
Yeah, but to be fair, like
And and
you probably,
like I was
but do
saying
you
too,
really make the playoff last year? I think Ohio State gets in. I think Ohio.
If you beat South Carolina, you're a one-loss team, conference champion. Your only loss was to Notre Dame. You 100% get in.
No, here's the reason why I think no is because then you're comparing an Ohio State team that did beat Notre Dame. No, I think Ohio State gets in because Ohio
No,
State did play
there's
Notre
no
Dame
way
and
they
beat
would
them.
have put them in.
Yes, they would have.
There's no way they would have put them in.
You saw what they did this year. You if they put in Florida State, then yeah, you have an argument. But because they didn't put in Florida State, no, I don't think you have an argument. I think that Clemson would have been left out.
But it's a completely different
No, it's
year
not.
this year though.
No, but well, it's a different year, but it's
It's a
not a
completely different.
different.
No. It's a completely different situation. They're not
No, it's
debating putting
not.
in the Clemson team. They're not they're not debating putting the Clemson team in or the SEC champion in.
No, but
That's why
here
it's a
they're
completely
talk,
different. That's why it is a completely different situation because has nothing to do with getting the SEC champion in or
but
the
if
Big
you
Ten
are
champion.
looking,
So
no,
it
they're
doesn't
talking
matter.
about
They can.
Lincoln. It's the same argument. You guys got absolutely smacked by Notre Dame, and then Ohio State beaten. I just don't see how the committee looks at your loss versus Ohio State's barely loss against Michigan, or not a barely loss. They got beat by Michigan that year, but
Because
I
Ohio
don't,
State beat Notre Dame
I
week
don't.
1. Ohio
Yeah,
State
I
beat
just
Notre Dame hold on. You said what you had to say. Now let me say what I have to say. That Ohio State beat Notre Dame in week 1 at home. Clemson lost to Notre Dame later in the season on the road. That's all been forgotten about Ohio State's win back in week 1 against the Notre Dame team. What is on the committee's current mind is their last game played, in which they got absolutely smacked by Michigan. So, and then like I said, it's a completely different situation. Look at what it would have been the discussion last year for what the discussion would have been this year. Because this year they had to worry about, all right, do we put Florida State in, who's without their starting quarterback, or do we put in our SEC? Or do we put in the SEC champion? We can't put both of them in because you can't leave out the Big 12 champion in Texas who beat Alabama.
yeah.
The head to head between Ohio State and Notre Dame and Clemson and Notre Dame has nothing to do with anything when it's between Clemson and Ohio State. They haven't played each other. So
Yeah,
it's a completely different situation.
I disagree. I disagree.
Oh, I know you
Um,
do, but I mean there's no
well,
logical
you know I'm right.
reason to
You know I'm
disagree
right.
from like th- there's just nothing to even disagree with about that. It's pretty anybody with any bit of common sense can clearly see that it is completely different situations.
It's different, but it's not that different.
No, it's a lot different.
No.
It's
But
it is a lot different.
it is
I
not a
I
lot.
hope throughout this conversation you've lost at least 10 subscribers because
Oh my
hopefully they're seeing
gosh.
you don't have much sense when it comes to this stuff.
You know I'm right, and that I have more sense when it comes to this topic than you do.
Not really, because you just showed that you don't.
No, I simply put schooled you when it came to this conversation.
Oh, schooled me. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Well, we got one more play here left before half. 7 seconds left. Um, Anthony. Well, what Lincoln said, I'm not disagreeing with him. The fact that
No,
Day
oh,
is a
now here
good.
comes the change
Okay, no,
story.
no,
I've
no,
been
no, no,
waiting
no,
on
no,
it.
no, no.
Here comes
No,
the change story. I've been waiting on it. It took a little bit longer than it
Day
usually
is
does,
a
but
good.
here it came.
No, 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 no. I did not change at all. Day is a good recruiter, but he has a lot of good recruiters around him, of which he didn't hire most of them.
No, no, Day isn't a good recruiter. It's all of his assistants. None of them were from him. Day's a terrible recruiter. He does nothing.
No,
It's all the
I
guys that
never
Urban
said
Meyer
Day was
hired.
a terrible. No, 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 Lincoln. I
It's
never
all the
said Day
guys
was a
that Urban
terrible
Meyer
recruiter.
hired.
Anthony,
Ryan
I
Day
need
gets
you to
zero
specify.
credit for it.
Anthony, I need you to specify for this guy over here the simple fact that I did say Day was a good recruiter, but most of his recruiting comes from the fact that he has a good staff that was inherited.
Go back and listen to it. You never said anything about Ryan Day's recruiting. When I made that comment, you said, "Well, I think most of it is his assistants."
Yes, it is most of his assistants. It is. It is
You're an
most of
idiot.
his an idiot. Dude,
It's
it
just a
is
flat out
most of
idiot.
his assistant. It is mostly his assistants that A do the recruiting, A because it's most staffs that way. And like from what I know on an actual NCAA football team, the staff does 90% of the recruiting. The head football coach does not come in until the very end on certain recruits. I am telling you that from the perspective that I know when I have talked with people that are actual coaches in the NCAA.
Yeah, I know that. I know the head coach isn't the one that is going to the high school football games and all this other stuff. But it's just like I made the point earlier. When they miss on
Anthony,
a recruit, when they miss on a recruit, they come calling for the head coach's head. So when they hit on one, he gets the credit for that too.
it depends on how much
It
he was
depends on
actually
nothing.
involved.
It depends on nothing. If they
When
miss
you
on a
when you
recruit, it
miss a
doesn't
high
matter who
level,
recruited
but
him,
when
who did that,
Lincoln,
who
when
did
you miss on
anything
a
with the
high
guy.
level 5-star quarterback, that is literally Ryan Day's background. That is his fault. And if he
But
hits on
when
a
he
high level 5-star quarterback, then that is his fault as well. That is both good, bad, or ugly. That is on him because of the level that he has on the offensive end on certain positions. I am not going to be super upset for Marcus Freeman missing out on a super high level quarterback
All
because
right,
that
then let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Why are we sitting here talking about um why are we sitting here talking about firing Ryan Day since all he worries about is the quarterback and maybe a few other positions on offense? Why don't we fire all these other guys for them losing to Michigan these last 3 years? Because it hadn't been the
because we're
quarterback or the
talking
wide
about the
receiver's fault.
actual game.
It
We're
hadn't been the
talking about the
quarterback or the
actual
wide
game.
receiver's fault. So why not fire all these other guys?
We're okay.
Because all of it falls
Recruiting and
on
the
the head
actual
coach.
game is two different things. Recruiting and the actual game are two different things.
Well, they recruited the
Recruiting,
players that can't compete with Michigan.
it's not that they can't compete. They have high level recruits on all sides of the ball, whether
They
it's
haven't
special
com
teams or
This year was
defense
the
or
first year in 3
offense.
years they competed with them.
They competed with them 2 years ago, Lincoln. They lost by 7, right? 2 years
No,
ago?
they lost by more than that.
Not at Ohio State when they played at Michigan in the snow.
Yeah, they pretty sure they lost by double
Let me
digits.
look it up. Michigan, Ohio State. It may not have been 7, but it wasn't that
Yeah, they
big of a
lost
deal.
42 to 27. 42 to 27.
In this game, when it comes down to it, when you're looking at recruiting and when you're looking at in-game actual when the guys are there at Ohio State, yes, all of those guys fall under Ryan Day. Yes. And like Anthony said, like
Okay,
I've
so when they're
there,
recruiting, they also fall under Ryan Day. You really think that those guys just go out and they just recruit whoever, that Ryan Day has no idea who they're recruiting, and then they call him up, "Hey coach,
that
we got
Ryan
this
Day
guy.
has
We're
no
closing we're
no.
closing
You
in on
are
his
way
commitment. We're
oversimplifying.
close we're closing in on his commitment. Why don't you come out here and come take a visit with us and come meet this guy?" No, Ryan Day's over all of he's over he knows everything that's going on with all these recruits. He's going and visiting with all these recruits. He gets just as much as credit for it as the other guys do.
What I am saying is this. Ryan, okay. You're wrong on two fronts. You're wrong on oversimplifying my opinion. I'm not saying that Ryan Day has literally no involvement whatsoever. I'm not saying that he has no involvement.
You're
But he
acting
is
like he doesn't.
also, but no, but you're acting like he has all the involvement in
If
the world, which he does not.
if most of it is his assistance, then that means he has very little involvement. Because
Most of it is his assistants. That's how every
most
coaching
doesn't leave
staff
a whole lot
works.
left.
A majority, 75% of recruiting for a singular recruit always comes from the assistants, not the head coach. I am telling you from that what I know about NCAA recruiting, it is not mainly the head coach on any guy, almost. On a few, if like, okay, so let's say this. Marcus Freeman is a linebacking coach. He recruits the linebackers for Notre Dame in some way more than other positions. Fine. You know what? I'll give you an example. Anderson University. Coach Lamb, our head coach, is a former quarterback. He is a former quarterback, and he is in charge of the quarterbacks. He does almost all the recruiting for our quarterbacks. But when it comes to the other positions, when it comes to a inside linebacker, that's Coach Jones's job. And yeah, Lamb knows about it, and Hickman, who's the defensive coordinator, knows about it. But Lamb doesn't really know that much about it. Lamb's not a defensive guy, and Lamb's not the defensive coordinator. It takes levels before it ever gets to Lamb.
And I never disagreed with all of that. My whole point on it
But
was
you're saying that he's like a big contributing factor.
I never those were never the words that came out of my mouth. I'm just I'm just saying you act like he has no idea who any of these people are and they just show up on campus. Um my whole point is that you you The head coach gets blamed whenever you miss out on recruits. You miss Same like with Dabo. He's been getting blamed whenever they miss on the quarterbacks, they miss on guys in the transfer portal. That's great. So whenever they hit on these guys, they do get these guys, then Dabo gets the praise. So same thing with Ryan Day. If they're gonna throw crap at him because I mean, like Amy was saying, he can't develop a quarterback because Kyle McCord didn't play good this season. All right, well, if Devin Brown comes out and wins the Heisman Trophy next year, then Ryan Day gets the credit for that. He gets the credit for the recruiting,
Yes.
just like he gets the bashing for the recruiting. So I don't care if he doesn't even know who these guys are and they just roll in on campus one day. He's gonna get the credit. He's gonna get the blame if they go out and play bad. So he's gonna get the credit when they go out and play good, regardless of how much he had to do with their recruiting.
Okay, we're going to put a pause on this discussion because I haven't eaten yet and I need to eat something. So we'll be back after halftime when we get back, but I will be back in a little bit.
All right, sounds good. I'll go check on those graphics you sent me, Anthony. Did you email them to me or send them on Canva? Just let me know.
And we are back here once again with our coverage of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. As we got some good, 1 second here. What's that news? Chris Sale, Braves acquire Chris Sale. Interesting. Yeah, but I'm pulling the game, putting the game back on. So Auburn or Maryland up on Auburn, kind of interesting there because Maryland has struggled later on in seasons. So kind of an interesting matchup there. Yeah, Chris Sale being traded to the Braves, but Andrew Vaughn, an interesting little trade there for both teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm in favor with that as long as he can stay healthy. As a Braves fan, I like it, but I'm a little worried that he might not be able to stay healthy.
Yeah, that may be an issue. His health, it always is with Chris Sale with that really crazy delivery.
Oh yeah, but I mean I think the biggest reason for him is for the playoffs for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also helps that they need starting pitching depth.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't know.
that's what I said. Like I don't know how much action he's going to see in the regular season as far as actually starting. I think he's going to be
Mhm,
probably more of like a long innings relief pitcher for them.
mhm.
Um, unless they kind of want to run like a six-man rotation,
I
possibly.
don't know.
But
The Cubs.
I think he's probably going to be in the bullpen until and I say until because I mean you know it's going to happen at some point, but until one of your starters gets injured.
Yeah, yeah, which is pretty quickly if you're a Braves fan.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't
We've
take
we've
much
seen that
or
over
very.
the years for sure.
Yeah, at least you didn't have two pitchers in 1 year. One get injured from a cutting accident. One get injured from putting on his pants, and then one get injured for doing the dishes.
Yeah, loading the dishwasher.
Yep. Yeah, it was a rough year, Lincoln. It was a rough year.
As what a pass and catch there, one-handed catch to the back shoulder. Man, that was a great catch there from Preakscorn on
Lane
the
Kiffin
right
was right.
sideline.
Lane Kiffin was right there to celebrate.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was right there on the sideline. But Ole Miss now at the 31-yard line of Penn State after holding Penn State to 3-and-out on their first drive, and Dart gonna be wrapped up and dropped for a sack back to the 37. I'm really surprised that Penn State has gotten 20 points in this game this fast.
You mean Miss? Old Miss?
Yeah, I meant Ole Miss has gotten 20 points on this Penn State defense through one half of football. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
they would probably end the game with 24, 27 points,
Yeah. It does kind of
which I mean, they still might, but I expected this Penn State, and I know Penn State's defense has a good bit of opt-outs, but I still expected them to be a little bit
does
better,
it
as it looks like some miscommunication between Dart and his receivers there on the third down, as Dart looks pretty upset on that one, as it's gonna bring up a 4th and 14 and gonna bring out the field goal unit here. Caden Davis already made a 36-yarder and a 45-yarder today. I believe this one is 52-yarder, and it's up and right down the middle. It's a six
good
point game
kicking
now.
game by good kicking game from both of these teams.
Yeah, both kickers have been pretty solid. So we'll see if Penn State can get some offense going. I'm really surprised that Ole Miss's defense has held up this much.
Did you see Mike Hall Jr.'s entering the draft?
Yes, yes, saw that earlier.
Not really surprised particularly by him entering, but definitely has been a pretty successful career.
No, yeah, not really surprised. Yeah, not surprised that he's gonna enter. How many views is this has this one got for you?
247.
Yeah, I'm at 319. It hasn't been this the stream hasn't been going as good as the one from last night for sure.
No, yeah. And
Still a lot of
overall,
time though.
it's been yeah, yeah. Let's hope it picks up
Hopefully so.
because it
Yeah, I've
is.
only gained 2 subs from it as well.
I've gotten one.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll keep picking up. I know Roundup did pretty good. I know it's also kind of died down, but it was doing good. It got another subscriber. We're up to 41 over there.
Oh, that got two then, because last time I saw it was at 39.
Oh, okay. When I looked earlier, it was at 40. I thought it ended at 40 last night.
No, it ended at 39 last night.
Okay, then yeah, it's got 2 over on Roundup as well, and it's got about 300 views.
I think Roundup has probably done the best of that out of all of us, really, relative to how many subscribers we have.
Yeah, I mean, probably so. She got about 450 views last night, and it's sitting at 294 right now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it basically had. I mean, I've only got about 20 more views than it
It's got more
does, and
views
it's
than
got
me.
more views than yours does. So, yeah, it has done pretty good.
I wonder what our playoff streams will do.
Yeah, I wonder how that one's gonna do for the playoff stream. As Ole Miss
Yeah.
set to kick it away, and that kickoff's gonna go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Penn State will
Yeah.
take over at the 25.
It had to be a pretty tough game for you last night to watch, because man, that was a frustrating game. But the
I mean, that
defense
was a
did
tough
play well.
that was a tough game for me to watch, and I didn't care who won the game.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just one of those. It was just so hard to watch. Just such a
Mhm.
I can't imagine actually, my team actually playing in it. That was just such
Yeah.
a hard game, just so boring, and neither team really could get anything going. I mean, Missouri kind of did there in the fourth, but neither team really able to get anything going. As the first down play is going to be a little swing pass to Singleton, and he's going to be dropped about a half a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Not just nothing going right now. Good open field tackle by Ole Miss, and that's kind of how they've been playing this whole game. They've been just keeping everything in front of them, and they've been doing a good job, especially for a team who's struggled defensively all season. The
Oh yeah.
handoff to Singleton on second down, and he's gonna get about 6. Bring up about a third down and 4.
Jack Sawyer really was a beast last night. That whole defensive line played well pretty much the entire night. And then I wouldn't even say they
Yeah,
ran out of gas. It was just
what
kind of
7 they ended with what
they
7
had a lot of
sacks?
sacks. It
Yeah,
was a
they
lot,
yeah, they
whatever.
had a bunch.
But like I think the difference in that game was that bomb pass for 50 yards down the field. That was it.
So 3rd and 4, they're gonna dump off a little screen route, and the tight end lost his footing. He's gonna fall about a yard short of the first down.
Penn State really needed to pick that up in order to keep this drive going.
Yeah, they did. He lost his footing though, and he's going to come up just a yard short. As Singleton has really slowed down on the ground. He started out 3 carries for 33 yards. Now he's sitting at 6 carries for 39 yards. So they've really found a way to slow him down. Um, as
I
James
think it
Franklin
hurts it.
just not going to be able to go for this. They're going to punt it away. Um, and it's going to be a good punt. Fair catch back at the 18-yard line. And that's where Ole Miss will take over. I feel like
I
he should
think
have
it.
tried to go for that though.
No, I just if it was Lane Kiffin, you probably do, but I don't think if you give that up, your defense is good, but not that good. That's a yard and a half that you have to get.
I just feel like with how imposing that offensive line is, they could seems like he would have more confidence that they could move some of those bodies out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a close call, but honestly, I probably wouldn't go for it.
Yeah, maybe not with this. I mean, it's still very early in the
Oh
third.
yeah,
Just still only a 6-point game. Kiffin definitely would have gone for that though.
110%. It's Kiffin.
He definitely would have been going for it.
Kiffin would have been like, "What? It's third, fourth and 7. Let's go for it."
4th and 7 from my own 5-yard line. We'll go for it. I trust my defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the way he goes about it.
Oh yeah, Kiffin's a lot like I'm trying to think of a comparison for him. I don't know if there's a great
There really isn't one.
um yeah, there really isn't. I'm still going
He's
through
just
it,
kind of
but
his own thing.
oh yeah. Yeah, he really is. Um I have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I know Lincoln does. But you can find me on Instagram. I don't think that there's anybody else with my name. So it should be pretty easy to find me. So, but yeah.
So I'm looking at Roundup now, trying to update it a little bit.
My brother even gained 4 subscribers yesterday. He had a really good day.
Oh wow, yeah.
He even had the Missouri Iowa or not Missouri Iowa, the Missouri Ohio State stream or hype video that he did. It got over 1,000 views.
Wow.
So
That's really good. So how many
it
subs is he up to now?
I'll double check. He was at 19. Let me see if he gained any more.
As Judkins with a big run there up to the 34-yard line. He's getting closer to that 100-yard mark.
Yeah, he's still at 19.
Okay.
What happened to Virginia basketball? They just lost to Notre Dame by 22.
And Notre Dame's awful.
Notre Dame lost to the Citadel.
Yeah.
Notre Dame got beat the crap out of. They lost to Western Carolina. This is who was out for Virginia? They're 10-3.
Gosh. Yeah, I know they were like pretty close to being ranked too.
Yeah, that
Like they
is
weren't too far outside the top 25.
man. Notre Dame was plus 430 on the money line.
A nice pass there to Wolf.
Yeah, I don't know how Notre Dame won, but they did.
Yeah, I don't know how they. Yeah, because they're. I mean,
They
they've been terrible.
they never even were down the entire game. They were beating them pretty much by 10 points the entire game.
Gosh.
10 plus points. The final score was 76-54. Notre Dame
Good
started out on
lord.
a 13 to nothing run.
Nice.
That would have been a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of the few this year for you.
Yeah. Man, dude, it was 76-48 before Virginia got a few points to cap it off.
Man.
Notre Dame didn't
Gosh.
score for the last 2 minutes and 55 seconds. They felt so bad.
I mean, they could have won by 30 plus.
I know.
Big 3rd and 5 here now. Who jumped? Okay, they're giving Ole Miss a timeout before the delay of game penalty. Who are you emailing? Which one of us you gonna email? As updated records on Roundup, I just checked. I'm now 9-3 so far in bowl season. You are 5-7.
To be fair to myself, most of those weren't really picks that I would have done if it wasn't for the fact that I was losing.
Oh yeah, you had to try and
I had
find
to.
something. You've only won 1 or 2 disagreement games.
Yeah, yeah. There's only a few. Let's see here.
Which I know you said you would have picked Miami regardless. That you were
Well,
surprised with Rutgers getting the win over them.
I think I would have picked Miami regardless. I probably would have picked, honestly, I probably would have picked Rutgers if you picked Miami,
Yeah.
but because I like Rutgers, I like what the coaching job that he's doing, but I don't know.
Yeah, like I know with Ohio
So,
State, neither one of us really knew what to do with that game.
no, I probably would have gone with Missouri. And I think to be fair, like I am saying this in the fact that I did do a bull pick 'em. So and I did pick Missouri in that. Hey, Anderson is almost beating Furman. It's 31-29.
Well, and Furman's good. They've been a tournament team, what, 2 of the last 3 years?
I think so, yeah. Oh, they're winning
Something like that.
31.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe I should have gone
Okay,
to the
I got
game.
you. I'll be looking for it. For the
I
email.
They were giving out free tickets. Maybe I should have gone. Maybe our I don't know. Got hopefully these bold streams improve to make it worthwhile to me staying.
Yeah.
So far not so much.
No. No, not at all. Um, how's your poll doing in your chat?
It is
What's it looking
100%
like?
100% Old Miss, 5 votes.
Okay, yeah, I got 17 and I got a 65-35 in favor of Ole Miss.
Okay, that makes more sense. More than 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3rd and 5 now. The little pitch to Kinshawn Judkins, and he's going to get a first down up to the 39-yard line of Penn State. Huge run there. A huge hit, but gonna be a first down for Ole Miss, and they're working fast now. Look like somebody lost their helmet for Ole Miss. Bring in a new offensive lineman.
Oh, dude. You gotta at some point come to one of these AU basketball games and watch this guy that's named Kai Kostemeyer or something, whatever his name is. It's absolutely hilarious. We have nicknamed him Shaggy. You got to go look up his picture on the AU basketball website because tell me his nickname should not be Shaggy.
I'll find him during the next commercial break.
Wow, I don't know
Probably
how
won't join till the Georgia game. No worries. We'll
I
be
don't know
here.
how Anderson is winning. They're shooting 36.8% from the field and Furman is shooting 52%.
Wow.
To be fair, Anderson is shooting 33% at 3 and 40 and Furman is shooting 14% from 3. They've only made one. But still.
A good run there to set up a 1st and 10 at the Penn State 15 from Judkins. He's over 100 yards now after that run. Puts him at 108 yards on 21 carries. And you look for you look at Penn State. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the guy's name, but number 11 for them. He's their best defensive player. He's been limping around the last few possessions, and they're going to take him off the field now. That could be a big loss for them. Is Dart going to look to the end zone and incomplete? Wade could not haul that one in for the touchdown catch. It falls incomplete.
Look at the win probability graph is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. It's been
It all up and
all
down.
all Penn State, and then you get about when Ole Miss went up 13-10. Since then, it's basically been all Ole Miss. Right now, it sits at Ole Miss with a 75% chance to win, and I'm sure that's going to go up as Judkins is in for a touchdown. 14
Yeah, I
yard
think
touchdown catch on for him. It'll be his first touchdown on the day. It'll be Jackson Dart's third touchdown pass of the game, and Ole Miss is going to line up here and go for two, try and make this,
14-point game.
yeah, try and make this a 14-point game.
Penn State's defense has been surprisingly. Does this concern you at all for the playoffs?
What do you mean for the playoffs?
Like with Michigan and Alabama, that like Michigan struggled so much against Penn State's defense a little bit when it came to the pass game.
Oh no, because like Penn State's missing 5 defensive starters right now, and their best defensive player in Chop Robinson, and
True.
their 2 best corners as well have all opted out. And then, like I mentioned, the best guy that they have playing, the sophomore for them. I can't pronounce the dude's name, but he's number 11 for him. I mean, he's been injured basically the whole game. As a
Yeah, they
good little misdirection play here, and Ole Miss is going to get the 2-point conversion. Priestcorn with the catch, and they're up 31-17 now, 14-point game.
they it has been Old Miss has definitely played well. What are your thoughts on Old Miss heading into next year? Does Dart come back? I haven't seen
Yeah, Dart's
anything.
coming back.
Okay, okay.
He's coming back.
I
Um,
think I think Old Miss has definitely got to be looking at a shot at the SEC championship game. I
well, I'm
well
pretty
here
sure they have the number 1 rated transfer portal class as well for 2024.
let
Um,
me pull up their schedule real quick. One
so
moment.
I mean, Ole Miss, I could definitely see Ole Miss ending up making it ended up making this into a, um,
Okay,
making it
so Old
to.
Miss,
I could definitely see them making it to, um, into the 12-team playoff next year, regardless of if they win the SEC or not.
yeah. So Old Miss is playing. Speaking of Furman, they're playing Furman to start off the year. Then they got Middle Tennessee State. Then they got Wake Forest. Then they got Georgia Southern. You got probably a 4-0
That's
start there.
Yeah, that's 4-0 right there.
Then you got Kentucky at home, South Carolina on the road. I think you can probably win both games there. Then you got LSU on the road, Oklahoma at home, Arkansas on the road, Georgia at home, Florida on the road, Miss State at home. That's going to be a rough schedule. LSU and Death Valley, that is, I don't know if you're able to get a win there. You could. I would. I'd probably guess that Old Miss can win that game, but it's going to be close. Then you
To
got
me, it depends on if LSU's defense gets any better, because Ole Miss's defense is going to be better next year for sure with some of the
yeah.
guys they're bringing in. So if LSU doesn't get a better defense, I think Ole Miss wins. But I mean, we saw this year that Ole Miss won that game in a shootout. Neither team could stop anybody.
Yeah, and Oklahoma and Georgia at home. That's 2 tough games. You probably lose Georgia, I would assume, but at least you avoid Alabama with this schedule. But if you avoid Alabama, you gotta beat everybody else except the Georgia then.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
Because if you lose against Georgia, you're if you lose against Georgia and another team, you have a hard time getting into the championship. Plus, you what do you think about the Egg Bowl going into the next few years with Jeff Lebby now the head coach?
It'll depend who he gets at quarterback for him next year, because the way that his offense is run, you kind of need a guy like Dylan Gabriel, at quarterback. An experienced, smart, quarterback with a good arm. So it'll depend who
Yeah,
he gets at quarterback for him as far as next year. But I think Jeff Levy's going to be a good coach for Mississippi State, um, and I think they may end up kind of be what Ole Miss has been. An offensive powerhouse with a below average defense. So that could make the Egg
yeah,
Bowl in for a very, very entertaining game.
yeah. Well, I will say this. AU is beating Furman at halftime 39-34, and I'm shocked because we haven't played well all year long, other than a few games.
First down run for Penn State. Only going to get a yard there, if anything. Bring up a 2nd and 9. You look at the Penn State defense on the year, they're allowing only 11.4 points allowed, 31 today, 462 total yards allowed today, 364 pass yards allowed today. Or, yeah, 364. And I mean, um, that's been the most allowed of against this defense all year. Which if I had to say, this has probably been the best defense. I mean, excuse me, best offense that they've faced all year as well. Especially
Yeah,
when you add into they're missing a bunch of people.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny. AU lost to SWU earlier on in the year, and now we're beating Furman. I don't understand this.
Well, calm down. It's only halftime.
Yeah, I know, but still, it,
Furman will
it
probably come out hot in the second half and end up winning by 20.
I don't know about 20. 20 is a lot of points to beat a team by in one half. Well, I'm sure we'll probably lose, but we do have some good players, and our head coach is Furman's old assistant coach. So that's part of the reason for playing Furman these last couple of years is that our head coach is their former assistant coach.
Oh, gotcha. As the third
But
non-pass is going to be knocked down and incomplete, going to be 4th and 9 now, and Penn State goes 3 and out, going to have to punt the ball away again.
I
Good
just
punt. Fielded
has
at the
Drew has
19,
Drew
going to be pushed out at the 27.
has Drew Allard been like the most disappointing quarterback of 2023?
Probably so. I mean, this was a guy that
It
was
was,
supposed to throw for 4,000 yards,
yeah,
40 touchdowns with 5 picks, something like that.
yeah, because like I wasn't as high on him as some people were. Like I think, but neither one of us was extremely high on him. But there were some people that, man, they were high on him. And I
I mean, yeah,
just,
there was a bunch of people that put money on him to win the Heisman Trophy.
yeah, which is just that's crazy now.
And in doing so also had Penn State beating Ohio State and/or Michigan.
Yeah. Hmm. And to be fair, I did have Penn State beating Michigan in my prediction. Partly because I did think Michigan was going to lose a game, but and I didn't know which one. But I also wasn't going to pick Michigan to lose to Ohio State because I'm going to have the same problem with Ohio State that I had with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan until 3 years ago. That until you beat them, I'm not picking you.
Yeah.
So, and I get Ryan Day won 4 years ago, but I couldn't care less.
If you want to
So,
put your email in the chat, I can email you. I don't know why it won't let you email me.
it may just be like one thing is messed up or something like that. That's all
Yeah,
it
maybe
takes to
so.
open email.
We got a decision time here for Lane Kiffin, going to be a 4th and 1.
It's Lane Kiffin. What do you think the decision is?
4th and 1 from his own 36. Up 14 points with a minute
This game
40 to
is
go.
this game is basically over, and you're gonna give them a chance by not punting it.
Mhm.
Why? I would be having an aneurysm if I was an Old Miss fan. Like I love aggressive coaches, but this isn't aggressive. This is just stupid.
They get it.
It's still stupid.
They get it. They snap it to the big man. They snap it to the big man. He actually dropped the snap, and I didn't think he was gonna get it. They did. They go direct snap to the big man, bounces off of his knee, but he picks it up and he just muscles his way through these guys. It takes half the team to get him down, and he gets them
Yeah.
all the way up to the 44-yard line, an 8-yard run for him.
Is that like William the Refrigerator Perry's uh uh what's grandchild or something?
I don't even know.
I just saw the play because I'm behind you. That was hilarious.
Yeah, he dropped the ball, and then he just turned his back and just started backpedaling into him, just moving people.
Yeah. It shouldn't be an issue that you don't have a Gmail. Any email should work. I have a iCloud account one with my iPad and a Outlook one with my school. So I don't think a Gmail shouldn't matter if you just send us the email in the chat, or if you just give us the email in the chat, one of us can send the link there.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, it shouldn't matter though what the email is. It should work either way. It looks like there's a Penn State defensive player down. Yeah, 3rd and 8 here for Ole Miss after the injury timeout with 9 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Wouldn't they let the clock run out though?
I think in the third quarter they would, yeah.
Because I feel like once you come back from the injury timeout, they would start the clock and then it would just go back to the fourth quarter.
Look at these guys that Lane Kiffin's picked up. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from A&M. Tyler Barron, defensive lineman from Tennessee. Um, it just went off the screen, but there was a bunch more just defensive players he's added in the portal for next year, and I think that defense is going to be a lot better.
I think it will be better, but I don't know about a lot better. I think that it still comes down to coaching, and I think the coaching is a little bit lackluster when it comes to defensively.
Yeah, but when you look at this offense and give them an above average defense, I mean that's going to be a problem. As they get a free play on 3rd and 8.
Oh, they do bring in Chris Paul, the linebacker from Arkansas.
Yeah. So don't call any pass interference on the throw, but it is a free play regardless. It'll make it a 3rd and 3 now. Third and 3, Penn State brings the pressure, and Judkins is going to lose 2 or 3 yards on the play. Bring up like a 4th and 5.
This has been the longest 9 seconds that isn't from a second or fourth quarter, I think, of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the start of the fourth quarter with you guys. So we're back now, and the punt from Ole Miss is going to be a good one. Penn State going to start at their own 11. They're down 14 here with 14:54 to go in the game. It's gonna take a lot for them to come back, as they really haven't been able to do much offensively at all. So it's gonna be tough for them, but we'll see if they're able to do it. As 1st and 10, Singleton gonna get a first down. Nice run up to about the 22, 23-yard line here. Yeah, to the 22. Penn State kind of working fast. Aller gonna drop the throw. Got a man over the middle. Is tight end. Complete to the 37. Handoff to Singleton. He's going nowhere though. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Now a false start here on Penn State. Second and 15 from the 32. Aller gonna throw it out. Got his man. About a 5-yard gain. They'll make up the penalty, bring up a 3rd and 10 for Penn State now.
Do you see what he said in the chat, Lincoln?
Yeah, I sent the link.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. I sent the link for you. Third and 10, Aller throw across the middle. Good throw there, as it's going to be complete for a first down at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 again. Penn State working fast here.
I
Throw
don't
it
know if
deep.
it's
Incomplete, but it's going to be a pass interference.
I don't know how intentional this sped up offense is, because it's not like you're out of time and you need to be able to get down the field quickly and everything like that. You still have plenty of time left in this ball game.
They're going to call offensive pass interferences. I mean, yeah, that's a good call. Push off there. That's a great. Yeah, he pushed off and then just dropped the football. That's a good call there from the refs. I didn't even catch that watching it.
Let me see. I'm a play behind you, so let's see what it.
1st and 25 now. They're back to the 35-yard line. And he's got his big tight end who's going to get him close to the first down, about 4 yards shy of a first down. A big 21-yard gain. So 2nd and 3 now. Again, moving fast. Just going to dump it off to Singleton underneath. And he's going to get a nice gain up to about, looks like inside the 30 to about the 27.
You really got to give it.
He took a pretty good
touchdown.
hit there going out of bounds. There's an Ole Miss defender's down now. Wonder how much of that has to do with Penn State working fast and moving the football down the field.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're just kind of talking to him. Yeah, give him a few stretches. There you go. Yeah, that one definitely looked like he just kind of went down because Penn State was moving the football and working fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's gonna go on an injury timeout, so we're gonna take one with them real quick, but we'll be right back. And real quick, no, it's not the same link for every stream. Each stream has a different link. So we're back now. The first down throw is gonna fall incomplete. Bring up a 2nd and 10 now. The Penn State fans, along with James Franklin, looking very nervous.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's some nerves here.
As this is now going to go from 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 22. And Aller's helmet also came off, I believe, so he had to come out. Or did he? I'm not sure if he got benched or if his helmet came off.
What number is Allard?
Number 9. Right?
Yeah. Or is he 15?
No, he is 15. They had a guy, they pulled a guy out, number 9, and he was on the sideline shaking his head. And it looks like, his face looks like Drew Aller, but yeah, Aller's number 15. As on 3rd down, this is going to be incomplete as well. Bring up a 4th and 17 now. Penn State's going to have to try a field goal. Yeah,
What do you
51
think of
yarder.
what do you think about the Packer statement that said that the ACC is 7-4 against the SEC this year.
Sorry, what was that?
What do you think about Mark Packer's point that the ACC is 7-4 against the SEC?
I thought that was pretty funny that they're 7-4 against the SEC this year. I mean, and you look at the SEC can say what they want. I've seen a bunch of comments about how well most of the wins are against just the bottom feeders in the SEC or whatever, but it's kind of the same thing for the SEC's wins against the ACC. With Georgia, with Georgia beating Georgia Tech. But I mean, I think it was funny. I mean, I don't look too much into the records or anything like that, but I did think it was funny what he said.
Yeah. AU's now beaten Furman 49-42 with 16 minutes left in the second quarter.
Wow, so they might have a shot to hang on.
Second half, my bad. But yeah. That'd be fun to get back to campus and have a win over a D1 school.
Yeah, especially one that's pretty consistently in the tournament.
Yeah, our girls team played close with Central Florida. They were only losing by 1 point against Central Florida going into the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, Division I athletes wear you down a little bit. They ended up losing by 23.
Good gosh. Man, they got killed in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, by 22.
Yeah. Did they even score in the fourth?
I think they had like 6 points.
Man.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, because usually 22 points just in total is a lot for one team to score in a quarter.
Yeah, especially girls basketball.
Yeah. I mean, even in men's in the whole half, they usually only get about, between 40 and 50.
Not even 40 and 50 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like 30.
Well, the good team, the good teams usually average that many.
That is true.
Oh, it was cool. They just showed on the TV. They had a mom and dad out in the end zone and doing something, and then they turn around and their daughter, who's in the military, was behind them to surprise them.
Oh, that's nice.
Coming home, yeah. So the field goal attempt was blocked.
Pretty much just going to wrap up the game, kind of.
Yeah, I would assume so. I think this game is probably over.
Because you really needed to get a win, or not to get a win, get a touchdown, or at very least some points. But really a touchdown.
Yeah, because, I mean, even with the field goal, it's still a two-possession game.
Yeah. It didn't change much.
But, I mean, how about Ole Miss's defense? They haven't allowed a point this entire quarter. Or, I mean, this entire half.
Yeah. The whole third quarter, but yeah.
Yeah. But, the whole third quarter and now 5 minutes into the fourth. And they only allowed 3 in the first. So, other than the second quarter, it's been a very good game.
Yep.
For them defensively and offensively, they've just been rolling like they usually do. You look at their offensive numbers: 10 in the first, 10 in the second, 11 in the third.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah, been very consistent.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just still recovering from whatever kind of sickness I had.
Dart just missed his wide receiver on on 2nd and 9, making it 3rd and 9 here, right before the first down play here.
It'd be 2nd and 6 now, down to 9.5 minutes to go in the game. It's about over for Penn State.
Yeah.
ESPN giving Ole Miss a 98.3% chance to win this one.
What are your thoughts on James Franklin in this season? That's really kind of been, I think, a disappointing season.
Real quick on 2nd and 6, Jackson Dart going to run. He's going to slide down for a first down, but get hit as he goes down. No flag. I'm surprised they didn't pull a flag out on that one. Looked like a potential target hit. But yeah, it's the same thing James Franklin does every year. Beats everybody but Ohio State and Michigan. Just beats up on the weaker teams, wins, 10, 11 games a year, and does just enough to keep his job.
Yeah. That's a coach that we should talk about letting go of.
Well, I was about to say that, but it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. He's also one of those coaches. Who are you going to go get to come in that's better than him,
Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of coaches that can do what Franklin's doing to a degree, like beating everybody outside of Michigan and Ohio State. Like, I would give it another year to see what he does in this new Big Ten where he doesn't have to play Michigan and Ohio State every year. But if then he has to play Washington and Oregon, who cares? So at least your path
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't
go.
know. I feel like he's gonna find a way to win at least 9 games a year.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of people that can win 9 games at Penn State.
Yeah, I do too, but I also feel like he's one of those guys that they're not gonna let him go.
Yeah. Penn State generally
Penn
tends
State
to stick
jumps off sides again, but Ole Miss is gonna complete the pass all the way down to the 7. Trey Harris, a huge catch to add on to his already spectacular day.
If you are Penn State and let's say you let go of James Franklin this year, who are you getting?
I don't know. Who are you gonna get?
I think you probably go after Lane Kiffin, right?
Nah, I don't think Lane Kiffin's going to Penn State.
I think if he was offered by Penn State, Penn State's a better job than Ole Miss.
Yeah, but you also got to look at where these guys are at.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that
like he's always kind of been. I know not for his entire career, but for the most part, he's always kind of been Southeastern kind of coach.
Yeah, he has. Other than when he was out in Oakland, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. I think, let's see, Lance Leopold would probably be a candidate.
I think so.
I think he'd be an upgrade, to be honest. I think he'd be an upgrade.
Maybe they try and get Jamie Chadwell, although he kind of seems more of like a Southeastern kind of guy.
Far away from Penn State, like you'd be recruiting basically the same area.
What was that?
You'd be recruiting the same area that Liberty's recruiting, that Penn State's recruits, pretty much.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he's a guy that could potentially go after.
I think you could go after Greg Schiano.
As Jackson Dart just runs it in for a touchdown, and him and Judkins just yelling back and forth with some of the Penn State guys.
This is kind of turning into a bloodbath in the second half.
Yeah, I mean,
With
it
it
was a
now
3-point
turning
game
into
at halftime, and now Ole Miss is up
it's 3
21
score.
points.
Yeah.
And now there's a fight breaking out now.
Whoa, what happened?
As you got staff members from Ole Miss having to get out there to get some of these guys back.
That's not good.
You got
Not
Jackson
what
Dart
you
on the
want.
sideline waving and blowing kisses.
That is such a Lane Kiffin quarterback thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Penn State starting to get a little chippy here, which I've always thought was funny. Why are you chippy now? Now that you're, losing by 21 points, you should have had that edge back when the game was competitive and you had a shot at it.
Yeah, yeah. The funny thing is Dart was talking all this smack and he tripped on his own legs
Yeah, he tripped in the end zone.
to get into the end zone.
He still scored though, and they're up 21. He's had a great day though. Through the air, 25 of 40, 379 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then also added in a touchdown run.
Yeah.
So it's been a good game for him.
It really has. It's almost been his coming out party to a degree. Just with it's not that he hasn't had a good year, but did you see Dart miss the dunk?
Missed the dunk, yeah.
That's about the only thing he has missed today.
I thought that was pretty cool though, that the celebration that they have with the basketball goal over there.
I don't feel it's very unique though.
No, it just looks kind of fun though.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the kickoff. So back, Penn State's got it 1st and 10, but Ole Miss guy appears to be down here on the play. Looks to be a little shaken up. On the last play, Drew Aller completed a nice pass to Harrison Wallace, got 19 yards, got Ole Miss up to the 49 of Mississippi State. Of Ole Miss, got Penn State up to the 49-yard line of Ole Miss for 1st and 10 here. And Aller, he hasn't had a great game by any means. He's just barely over 50% completion percentage, 220 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But he also hasn't been as bad as the numbers show either. He's had a lot of passes kind of dropped and just, I don't know. It hasn't been as bad of a game for him as the numbers show.
Yeah, I think that you definitely needed more help from the offensive line and the running back game if you were going to win this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Which it started out on their first drive. It looked like they were gonna run all over Ole Miss,
Yeah.
but Ole Miss, especially at halftime, really made some big adjustments.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They really did.
Yes, they're on a injury timeout now for the injured Ole Miss player as he went down. How many views you up to?
281. So pretty slow. We've had some other bowl streams do better than this. Been a little bit disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah, especially for a New Year's Six bowl game. That's kind of how mine's been. I've got 357. You look like my Kansas UNLV video stream did better than this one.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Even your Clemson, Kentucky one did better. It didn't do well for me, but it did well for you.
Yeah, for me it did, yeah.
For the first time all game, Anderson has the win probability in their favor. They're up by 7 with 8:52 left.
Wow, is there any way to watch it? Is it on ESPN Plus or something?
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus.
I could watch it.
Oh, yeah, definitely turn it on. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm about to.
It's now an 8-point game. I probably would have gotten ESPN Plus if more of Anderson's games are on there, but they're mainly on Flow Sports, which is an annoying little app.
Yeah, what bad news for Penn State here. So they're going to fumble the football, and Ole Miss recovers.
Yikes.
Aller was pulling his arm back to throw it, got hit from behind. The ball comes out, and Ole Miss jumps on it. And that was pretty clearly a fumble. They might review this, but I don't see this one being overturned. And how about Maryland? They were up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Wow. What's the score now?
21-7 with 2.5 to go before halftime.
Interesting.
But yeah, they were killing them in the first quarter. Slowed down a good bit here, though.
I wish ESPN Plus did a free trial, but they don't.
Oh, yeah, so that way you wouldn't have to pay for all. Just go ahead and pay for the whole month.
Yeah. I'm not I don't really care to spend $11 on ESPN. Ooh,
No,
we're now
yeah,
winning by 10. We're winning by 10 now with 8 minutes left.
I'm signing in to the other ESPN account that has ESPN Plus. That way I
Hey, if
can.
I get a bunch of people to subscribe to join the Patreon, I can get ESPN Plus. But otherwise, yeah, no.
Yeah, somebody send them a $15 super chat.
It may need to be more like 20 to be honest, because with how much YouTube takes, that's
Oh, I
about what
didn't.
it's at.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So somebody send him a $50 super chat so he can get ESPN.
Watch Anderson beat Furman.
All right, let me see
Seven
here. I'm
seven
trying to.
minute.
I wish it give me a
se-
spot where I could just search.
Wow, they're moving fast because Furman missed a 3-point jumper at 7:05 left. Then AU missed a layup with 6:56 left. Then Furman missed a 3-pointer with 6:40 left.
Here we go. I got it up now.
You have to let me
Anderson
know.
just hit a 3.
Oh, nice. Three
They're up.
ball.
They're up 8 with 6.5 minutes to go.
Man, I really should have. I should have went to the game. It would have been. It probably would have been a better decision than this.
Was it a home game?
No, but they gave Anderson students like 250 tickets, and we just had to go to university to get them, and then the game was up in Greenville.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think there's a few games up in Greenville today, generally.
Yeah, I gained another subscriber. Let's go.
How many are you at now?
I'm up to 1162.
Nice. I'm up to 1403. So let's see what Roundup's at. Speaking of which,
I think it's at 42. The last I saw.
yeah, it's at 42. Nice. We've gotten 7 subscribers. I think this has been a success for Roundup. Maybe
Oh
not
yeah,
for
for
us,
sure. For sure.
but Roundup's got almost as many subscribers as I've gotten.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
gotten
I've definitely got the
11.
most out of the streams, but I think Roundup's gotten close to second most, if not more than you. It's definitely close.
Not subscriber wise, I've gotten 11. I started off at 1392. So, and it's
Okay.
gotten some. So, it'd have to get a few more before it caught up to me, but it's definitely done better in comparison to like me having 1400 subscribers.
On 3rd down and 6, Judkins going to get dropped in the backfield. He's going to give Penn State defender a little push there at the end after they get up. They've been kind of jawing back and forth at it. Now some Ole Miss offensive linemen's turning around, running their mouths, and having to be pushed to the sideline by the referees.
That's
I don't really know what's happening here unless Penn State or somebody called a timeout.
I don't know. I'll be honest, at this point I'm just following the Anderson.
They just kind of stopped on the field, just kind of stopped play, but there's no flags, and I don't know if anybody. I think Ole Miss may have called a timeout. Oh, no, Penn State took their last timeout, right?
Why do they call
Penn
the
State
last time out?
Just trying to get the ball back, I guess.
Yeah.
Anderson just took a bad shot. Big guy forced a 3. Very early in the shot clock, too. It wasn't even anywhere near close either.
Are you talking about AU?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Garrett Denbo is probably our best player. But watch AJ Wright. He's the short, black kid, really, really fast. Um, do we have another timeout?
I don't know if you know Fax and Childress off of the Roar, but he's calling the game for ESPN Plus.
No, I don't know him, but that's awesome.
He fills in for like Walt a lot whenever he's out.
Okay, okay. Does
He
he
did
have his
their
own show or?
during the football season. He has his own for like an hour after Walt
Okay,
from like 7 to 8. Um, and he did the high school game of the week on Friday nights. He called
okay,
those.
with whatchamacallit?
No, it was him and some new guy, one of his buddies or something.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But
I've
yeah,
never
because
actually seen them at the high school. I've never actually seen them when they've gone to Pendleton or the game that I've gone to. Even though sometimes I have gone to the game of the week by the Roar, I've just never seen them, which I find
well,
odd.
they're usually they're in the booth.
Yeah, I know, but I've never seen them in the booth because, like,
I don't know.
I know whenever I'm at Pendleton, I know all the guys that are in the booth that are supposed to be there, that are generally there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, what did you I know this is completely off topic, but what did you think about Daniel moving up to 4A with the region that they'll get?
To be honest, I don't even care. I'm not gonna be going there next year. I could care less. I
That is
don't.
true.
I don't care.
The one thing that I did find interesting is Seneca moved up with you guys.
Yeah, again, I don't keep up with none of it. I don't care about any of it. 'Cause it looks like they're finally back now. They took 2 commercial breaks, like back to back, since I turned the game on. Somebody called a timeout, and then they got the 6-minute media timeout too. It'll be
Yeah.
Furman ball with
Well,
6:02 to play.
isn't the media timeout supposed to be after the 4-minute break? Because it's after the 16, the 12, the 8, the 4.
I think in the second half it's different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think in the second half it's a little bit different, but I'm not sure. As Aller's going to run this one all the way down to the 13 of Ole Miss. None of it really matters, though. 4.5 minutes they're trying to hurry, but
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we've definitely seen crazier things happen, though.
That is
For sure. That is for sure.
But
As
21 points.
there's a touchdown for Penn State, so with 4:15 to go, they're going to be down 14 points. Well, it looks like they're going for 2.
Oh, why? That doesn't do anything for you.
I'm trying to. I mean, I guess so. If they get the 2-point conversion, they get the onside kick, they score again and get a 2-point conversion. Then if you score a touchdown, you win the game.
Yeah, but okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you got to play it like that's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, but then I don't feel like you need a play to win. I think you need a play to. I get that you get the 2-point conversion, but
I like it from
whatever.
Franklin. There's going to be a pass interference in the end zone on the 2-point conversion. So they'll replay that.
Wow, Anderson got a couple of offensive rebounds there.
Yeah, they're up 6. They fouled the Furman big man on the other end, and he made the front end of the 1-and-1, or made both of the 1-and-1s. And Anderson,
What?
I mean, you can't do that as the underdog team here, missing the front end of the 1-on-1.
The funny thing is, well, it's not funny, but it's ironic. Anderson's actually been an extremely good free throw shooting team this year. They've hit upwards of 85% as a team.
I think they're going to call a block on Anderson now. Would have been a charge, but the guy was in the restricted area.
Ah,
Yeah, he had his foot in the restricted area.
that's just tough. That's not
Yeah,
anything that you can really do other than hope that you're not in the restricted area. It's kind of hard to tell.
No, yeah. Furman makes the first one, so they're down by 5 now. Yeah, it definitely would have been a charge. But both of his feet were in the restricted arc.
Yeah.
He was he was pretty far. And as now Furman's going to get the steal and the fast break dunk. It's a 2-point game. But hold on, there's going to be a foul on the big man for Furman now as he gets kind of tied up with the Anderson guy. And he's going to shove him.
Oh, is that a tech?
I'm not sure. It wasn't like an aggressive shove. It was just kind of like just kind of get off of the type shove.
Yeah, but that still can get you a technical if it's the right refereeing crew.
Yeah, it depends how it's because the Anderson guy ran into him and kind of got tied up with him. I don't know. They're going to commercial break. It'll be interesting to see whenever it comes back. As meanwhile, with our game, Ole Miss recovers the onside kick. Penn State doesn't have any timeouts, so I would imagine even if Penn State gets the football back, I mean they're going to have maybe a minute to go.
Yeah.
As Judkins, he gets nailed. Doesn't get anything. Well, I guess not. I mean, if they force a 3 and out, they'll have about 2:45 to go. I mean, it's still on the table for Penn State down 13.
Well, you still got to get a touchdown and then have to get the ball off of an onside kick, and then you got to get.
There's not going to be enough time left that they can force another 3 and out and get the ball back.
Yeah, you got to get an onside kick.
Yeah, they're going to have to get an onside kick. I've always wondered why the kicker doesn't just line up and kick it as hard as he can at one of the hands team people.
Have you ever seen the onside kick maneuver that everybody was in one spot and then the kicker kicked it and everybody ran in front of the ball so that way the kicker could get it?
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I saw it on Instagram.
They're back on the game. They didn't give the guy a technical, but they gave the bench a warning.
The AU or Furman?
For Furman.
Okay.
The guy didn't get a technical, but then Anderson had called a timeout.
Yeah.
And the way the bench was going, they gave their bench a warning. Not for anything related to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But 3rd and 11 now. And Judkins, is he gonna? No, they're gonna tackle him in bounds. Looked like he was close to being out of bounds. That would have been bad.
That could have made it an interesting ball game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that would have stopped the clock with 2:17 to go.
Because if you stop the clock there, it at least puts it back in the realm of possibility. But
Penn State's gonna get the ball with about a minute and a half to go.
Again, you get a quick touchdown here. You just got to focus on the fact that you got to get an onside kick. That's the hardest part about this whole thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. As Furman is back to the free throw line, he misses the first. Still a 2-point game.
I think this is definitely a win for the AU program, as last year you got beat by like 30. So
He missed the second one, but Furman got the offensive rebound and put it up, so it's tied at 65 now.
you got to get the rebounding at the stripe. You can't be giving that up.
No, yeah. Which Furman hasn't been as good as they have been in years past. They're only 6-6 this year. That's a nice mid-range shot there. Anderson's back up too.
Who is that from? Do you know?
From the looks of him, probably Shaggy.
Let's
Is he
see
number
here.
4?
I don't know off the top of my head his number. Let me see. No, that's Luke Denbo. Or wait, they counted it as a 3. Is that what you meant?
No, it was only a 2.
Okay. What's the score for you?
Well, Furman just missed, and Anderson goes down, hits another little turnaround jumper. 69-65 now, with 3:15 to go.
Okay. For me it was being slow. Shaggy, 1 second. Let me look at the box score. His name's Kai.
Anderson got a steal. They go 2-on-1 on the fast break, and it's going to be a foul. So they'll shoot 2 free throws.
It wasn't Shaggy. He hasn't played so far.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't played at all. You'll notice if it's Shaggy. Like it is. Dude looks.
Oh, I think I see him. Is he number 31?
Yeah, that sounds more right. He's a tall
Yeah.
guy. He walked into the registrar office one time, and I'm like, who the heck is this? He was just a scary dude.
Yeah, like is this just some homeless guy trying to get some heat?
I know. And he was like, and he has a really deep voice, and he's like, I need to have a form to be able to fill out an enrollment exception form. And it was just funny. Penn State's definitely moving the ball here, as they've gotten all the way almost into Old Miss territory, but they really got to go quicker if they want any shot at winning this game.
Yeah, they're at the 49 right now with 1:18 to go.
You probably got to finish this drive with at least 30 seconds still left on the clock, if not 35, 40.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At least give yourself a shot at not only the end zone, but a realistic shot at a developing play.
Allers just got to throw this one away. And used up. Yeah, it's down to 1:04 now.
It's kind of funny. Furman had a 99.9% shot to win this game before it started.
Wow.
Anderson didn't have anything above a 99.4 until let's see here. No, I'm doing it on my phone. They didn't have anything above a 98.2% chance to win before it was 2 minutes and 49 seconds left in the game, and it was 34-32 Furman.
Wow. Yeah, Furman's got the ball now down 5. They get a nice little left-handed layup from the big man. 3-point game now with 2:50 to go. Allers going to run on 3rd down and get to the 35. So that'll at least stop the clock momentarily. As Penn State guy just threw a punch.
Oh, nice. Way to
And
keep your
nobody saw anything.
composure.
Watch number 7 for Penn State if you can. He just threw a punch and nobody did anything. His Aller just went way past the line of scrimmage to throw a pass. And I still don't think they're going to throw anything for that either. No.
Oh my, this is bad. This referee crew is bad at the beginning and bad at the end.
Did you see the punch?
Yeah, I'm just like, serious. How is that?
I mean, for no reason either. The guy was just standing there. He just punched him.
He probably said something about his mama, let's be honest.
Second and 10's incomplete. Third and 10, now only 30 seconds left. This is going to be very difficult for Penn State. As it's back up to a 5-point game with 2.5 to play.
I'm liking it. The Cole Middleton guy that just made the free throws is from Furman. He's a transfer from there.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I'm sorry,
Furman
not
missed
from
on the 3, but their big man high, and I think it was on the back of his jersey. He's been eating up the paint. He just got the offensive rebound and put it back in. It's a 3-point game now.
Where's Shaggy? Shaggy is not the fun thing about Shaggy is he'll shoot a 3. He'll shoot a 3 and then he'll put guns up to the student section.
Man, they went up for the layup and it just rimmed out.
Wow.
Tough contested layup, but it just rimmed out on him. So it's still a 3-point game with 1:35 to go.
That's rough. That is rough. How much is left in the Penn State game on your end?
I've got what a save there to keep that one in bounds for Anderson. I've got 21 seconds left, but Penn State just threw it incomplete on 4th down, so game over.
Okay. So 1:19 left in this Furman-Anderson game.
Yeah, that's a very hot take to say Malik Neighbors gets picked before Marvin Harrison. That isn't happening.
That ain't happening.
There's no way that happens.
I'm a Bears fan. It ain't happening. I can promise you if that happens, Ryan Poles won't be able to see the fruition of that deal. That is no. Come on, Anderson. I don't even know if this win counts if they win. Does it count?
What do you mean?
Does the win count?
Or the loss?
To the record.
Yeah, why would it not?
A D2 school?
It's the same thing as playing FCS.
No, because they're still D1. Let me check. Does it
100% does.
School win count if they beat a D1 school in basketball?
That's the final for the Peach Bowl. Ole Miss wins 38-25. That's their first 11-win season.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream because it's about time to start Florida State.
Okay, go ahead.
It's almost 4.